we got another. Listen, we got another one. Now we're gonna talk about this clip right here. What we are seeing on the court, like even when y'all watching it up close more so, you could probably see the more aspects of the game. Look at how when he's jumping and he's shooting that fade in the air, look how he's like straight up, look how it looks cleaner. You know when you shoot a straight up fade in like a pull-up jumper, that's what it's really called, a pull-up jumper. Okay, you know when you shoot a pull-up jumper like coming forward, meaning you're looking straight at the rim when you're doing it. You know how ugly it is, but look how this one is more clean. Like look how clean that is. Even though he got the contest, like there's a contest on that shot, there's a contest there. He jumped up and got the contest. Somebody came over and got the contest. I think it was Curry, right? But he comes over and gets that little contest there. So you can see that you can get contests like that. Challenger is going to come into effect to where it's going to play out, and you're going to be able to get certain contests, hands up contests, like you see Curry just put 2 hands up real quick. Chris Paul is short. I'm trying to get people to understand that even though he gets up on his shot. Watch Chris Paul in real life. He gets up on his jumper. He gets up just like this on the fade. So sometimes I look at it like, yo, is 2K purposely releasing these clips like this? Because they could have released a whole game of different certain animations, but it's like they're picking and choosing. It's like they're letting people play and they watching and they're like, okay, this one can drop, this one can go. That one could have been recorded. Because it don't make sense to me, because it's showing me detail. When I know this game, people are commenting like, yo, are y'all watching my videos or y'all this? This is why I have to put sometimes the aggressive energy, not aggressive, but more direct. Look at this when I do this, right? When I show y'all this. You have never seen this type of move. That's a switchback. You see people do between the legs and then you speed off. But Chris Paul is putting this, it's in his left hand. He's coming like this with the ball, like this, and then he's just bringing it right back. He's not even putting it between his legs. Look when I slow it down and go through, look. And that's probably like a bug. Let me see. Okay, that's what he's doing. Okay. So it's like he goes with the ball over like this. It goes like this in front of him first, and then he puts it between his legs like this. It like, oh man, it's not looking great, or it's like, understand we have not got the game yet. There's still patches, there's still refines, they're still working on it right now as we speak. As I'm making this video, they're working on it. What you can see, what they're trying to implement is Chris Paul's putting the ball. Let me see if I got my ball. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. So Chris Paul has the ball, right? It's in his left hand. His back like this. He doesn't let it cross over, right? He doesn't let it cross over, so it's more like a little animation like that. They try to make a switchback animation like that. So he doesn't cross it over, right? Let's see if I can get more space in. So it's more so an animation like this, right? It's like a switchback. It's like he's not even. That's the ball right back to where he can now speed boost to the left. So let's watch it in fast speed. So they just got to clean the hand motion up a little bit more, but that's the switchback. Watch it. It's like he's behind the back. Oh, switch it right back to the left real quick, and you could tell that's a user, and like you could tell the person with the sticks did that. And then they still have the same speed boost launch animation off like small players launch off. That animation is not bad. I feel like they're gathered. That's always 2K's animation. Y'all gotta understand, like NBA Live got a certain speed boost animation launch off. 2K got their own. So that's clean for 2K. People are not paying attention to also how the jump is. Look at the jump. Please. Look at the screen, like the screenplay. Look at the body, like. I don't know how people can't see the difference. I'm gonna keep letting it play on the screen real quick. I don't know how people can't look at how Chris Paul, he goes on, like how high he gets in the air. People can't pay attention to that. The contest even looks different because now we got this release height thing. So look how he gets contested in the air. Like, look, I could pause it right here. Look, he gets contested. Look, Curry just comes over, but since he's small, he gets contested in the air. Okay? So he's close enough to where he gets a contest. Chris Paul 6 foot, Curry 6'3". He gets that contested. You see that? So that's how 2K's playing out their contest. That's how I'm looking at it. They can also, you know, they always could change stuff, add stuff, implement stuff, make it different. But that's how their change is looking for right now. So we want to talk about this, right? We're going to get into some deep details. We want to talk about this. The highest ball handling requirement will be 92 for Curry, Trae Youngs, Kyrie, and others. Ultra realistic. When we build our mod players, it's going to be very close to how these players will be. If you go in some of the NBA players, even if you go in some of them and just look at their stats, it's not, they don't really have too many OP stats around the board. You know 2K is going to hit certain stats, right? I'm going to make a builder video and talk about certain stats that they're going to hit. The builder is going to be the same, meaning it's going to be the same way of how when we're doing certain takeaways, they're going to allow us to go. So the builder is going to be different. We're going to have the same little system with the points going up. That's going to be the same. That's what's going to be the same. The same, you know, they probably could even have the bars looking the same attribute-wise, but you know, they always change up little features to make stuff look different. But we know that the builder is going to be very similar when we talk about in what aspects making all-star builds. All-star builds have been in the game for like the past few 2Ks, but they have been, except for current gen, they always had the stats. How could I put it? They always had the stats like still looking like the older 2Ks in a way. This year, they're going to actually balance out the superstar stats a little bit better. But understand, next gen has always had the superstar stats type of gameplay. Remember how the builder was different next gen versus current gen this year? Okay, let that sink in your mind. They just have to focus on next gen how to balance it more. So we're still going to have that same fun. He said it in his own words. We're still going to be able to have fun making those type of builds where we have, oh yeah, I got this in this area. And the badges play out. It's your stats and your badges working together against another players. They just balance certain things. We can see the balances that they made. Adrenaline. That's one of the biggest balances in the game. And that new feature goes deep. Okay? But adrenaline is the biggest thing. Everybody else is talking about everything else like, oh, this size. Oh, smalls won't be this. Oh, the big players are going to dominate and just take over. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be basketball, realistic basketball. The players that's relying and hoping on it's going to be like that. Oh, I could just stack my strength and do this. Or I could just do it. No, y'all still thinking the wrong way. They already got the teams takeover design system where we have to help each other now in certain ways to get team takeover to go up. Rec, I feel like it's going to be worse than Rec. That's going to be way more worse than Rec, I feel like. Especially when you play with egotistical players who don't want to get along with the program and do, you know, yeah, I could see it. I could just see it right now. So this is going to be one of their 2K games I feel is going to shape and form people to start to know how to play the game properly. People was looking at that last passing video like, oh, no, 2K won't make it like that. Like, are y'all serious? That's really how pass is supposed to be. If you cover it up in front of a lane, the ball not supposed to get through unless you got the certain attribute rating to do it, and then you have the certain skill and you're passing a certain way. You know, they're going to make passing even more real. See, I'm getting into a deep detail video about that because people think I just slept on it, try not to cover it too much, made clickbait. No, the passing is deep. All right, but we're going to get onto that. Let's keep talking about these small PGs, right? Boom. Smalls, bigs, swings. We know it's broken down. That should give y'all the idea that, look, fellas, the only reason why you was able to feel like you was a 6'9" super demi without having the skill to really do it, because I had a 6'10" that was in a glitch build. You know what I mean? And I still went crazy because I knew how to move. I knew how to use the mechanics, and they're making it better this year. So the fact that people were able to do that this year, the 6'9" demis, and go super OP, not having to deal with the silver playmaking badges and be able to get plucked up a little bit and not having to deal with the real aspect of the game because they were glitch building. That's why people are not seeing this hit now. How if you're small, you're going to be having the abilities of just being a small. I don't care what nobody says. This year, you was able to have a 6'7" to get the Curry slide. You were able, I think somebody got it on a 6'9". Like it was, you was able to get certain stuff on builds that is a big game changer. I don't care how people call it. I don't care if you could beat somebody that is allowed to use that move. It still changes the flow of the game and how it's supposed to be played out and how people are supposed to be playing it in 2K's eyes, right? So it just forces people, oh, we don't need those builds no more. You don't need those roles no more. You don't need a pair playmaker no more. You don't need that no more. You don't need this no more. You don't need that more. You just need the meta. Boom. You see what I'm saying? They don't want that. They want it to be like you need everything all around. Depends on who's good in what area and how they're doing it on the court and how they're playing as a team. Boom. Only time you should be thinking about that solo dolo thing, making some weird build, is when you play in the 1v1 courts. It's basketball. You're going to go on the court with either 3v3, 2v2, 5v5. So all that little, when you make those weird builds, and they want to stop all that. People were not putting pass in their builds. Like, come on. Like, it was getting that crazy. Like, of course, yeah, you go make that for, like, the 1v1 court. I get it. But just still, people were still able to use those builds on the court. like have a real low pass and just stack crazy areas and like be able to still manage, be able to still get a little handoff pass and just give it to the PG. That's it. Just give it to him at least. Like, no, they got to force big changes in the game now, right? Off of this now. So we know that there's going to be cap outs, meaning the crazy SIGs are going to be for the higher tier players. Meaning small forwards, yes, we're still going to be able to move and dribble, but we're the basic and maybe more advanced depending on how much playmaking attributes we put, how much we put to our playmaking, then we're going to be able to capitalize and move and maneuver off of that. You understand? Like how I've been doing in 2Ks. They've always had that hit in 2K. This has been the first year they allowed to where you can get a glitch and then you can get a little bit past the regular ball handle and feel a little bit smoother and different on the court, which I feel like they just gonna add to the game. Another thing that I want to show y'all is it's going back to a year where it's going back to the laying up year where you laying the ball up, because Mike Wayne made this patch to put PGs. So quick drops off 1 foot have a higher dunk requirement this year. That's detailed. For him to just go and touch the one thing, quick drops, they could have touched many more things, but him to highlight one thing and talk about quick drops, he realized that this year the guards getting the quick drops was OP. How are y'all not piecing these patches up together and realizing, okay, we're going to be in the same, because it's only 1 year that they've had since we've had this new system. This is new. The next gen, the little badge system and the stuff of how we doing it, how we go up the points, we start to see what levels we can get Hall of Fame stuff on. That's new. Is it not? So we're going into the 2nd year of that. But this is the more polished up and more refined year to where it's a little bit better. They're adding more stuff in it. Don't take it as like, I always tell people, like, you can't be mad about hearing that. It's like, it's a basketball game. How much more can they do, but really go more into deeper other details of it? It ain't really too much they can really do, but refine animations, make it more better, make things more look more appealing, right? So we know that so players that try to do this, 80 driving dunk, 60 vertical, these builds are not going to be having shooting in them crazy. Like, people think you're going to see a build with 80. Who has that in the league? John Morant don't shoot crazy. It's if he shoots like, and I don't even watch him like that, I guarantee it's more streaky. It's a streaky type of guy, type of player. It ain't he coming down all the time or he's like Curry. No. So that was the problem. You still could be John Morant in 2K22 dunking crazy dunks and spraying out like you were Curry. Yes or no? Yes or no? You wasn't like a playmaker from 17. How you couldn't really sometimes, people could sleep on the playmakers. It was like a feeling in your mind defensive if you was a defender sometimes, because they couldn't hit like that. Late contest them, gap them, and just hit them late. Like, people don't be hooping, so they're not understanding these changes. Like, that shooting started 18. It's from 17, the crazy shooting you had to have been a sharp, and then people went to the small period, because listen, people had the bigger sharps. Remember how the sharps was? The sharps couldn't move. They didn't have that much dribbling. They treated you like a Matt Bonner, somebody who couldn't really do too much, just catch and shoot. That's how the sharps was. Then players started making the small speed boost point guard sharps. I remember in 17, because I'm like, okay, my defense was crazy, so I'm like, okay, they starting to come up with this now, all right. Speed boost, and they was able to shoot from half court. Y'all remember it. Once they get their takeover, they was able to speed boost and get the little launches with the screens. We're going back to that type of time where we're going to see pick and rolls heavily. It's going to be on both sides. Guards going to be able to cook up bigs, and bigs going to be able to cook up guards. It's still going to play out on IQ. Stop making it seem like just because you get the bully badge now, and I can't wait to make this next video. I cannot. Stop making it seem like just because that badge is in the game, it's a new badge now that lets you bump in the game. The badge is only going to be able to activate inside the paint area, guaranteed, going on certain drives and certain pushes through the lane. It's not going to work on you posting somebody up at the three-point line, and that would be dumb to do regardless. So understand, please, I got y'all coming next video. I got y'all. But understand, there's a lot of hits that's happening to the game now. So these point guards that you see with driving dunk now, if they do want to go for a posterizer, I guarantee they're going to be lacking in the shooting. Guarantee they may be able to go high in the defense, maybe be able to go a little bit crazy in the playmaking, but 2K always know how to balance it. And if you go listen, you can mess yourself up even more. You can go high in the dunking, high in the shooting, but that's 2 areas you done capped out. Think about it. When you break your player apart, most of the times when it comes down to archetypes, you see small forward, power forward, right? When you see them, bigs and swings. You see how they do bigs and swings, smalls and swings. So you're going to only come into that balance of 2 going crazy in 2 areas. You're going to be able to get other areas good to where you could probably have like a, let's say, a 85 perimeter, you know, have your perimeter high stuff, but certain shit is going to get hit without you being able to have that little glitch build concept in your mind where you can overstack in areas. You're going to have to do a nice balanced build this year, and he can still going to have good, nice stats. Doesn't mean he's going to have, you can still have a good, nice stat in each attribute category, but you're going to get hit in certain areas, whether you get hit in your block, hitting your perimeter. You're gonna have to choose depending on how you mix and match certain stats up. Vertical is gonna take away from certain things when you want to say, oh, all right, I want to go high in the vertical and I want to go high in the drive and dunk. People are not even like understanding how. We gonna get more into it. Let's get off to that. Bullet passer. Another thing how I want to show you, the PGs are gonna be nice because one, in real life basketball, a point guard controls the floor. Let's stop getting mad because point guards are good. They're going to make bigs good as well. This is why the bully badge has been added. But you got to understand they're going to balance that badge. I could read the devs. I could read them very well. Now, I'm going to talk about that in my next video. So make sure you got the noties on because I want to see that turned up IRL game spam when I talk about this. All right? I'm going to bring a lot of facts. Right? Now, look. Bullet passer is gone. Pass speeds are tied to pass accuracy rating. People keep trying to like laugh about this, and then when I showed the last clip of showing the passing, we're gonna make a deep detailed video on it though, for real. When I showed the clip of the passing, you see how simple it was for just a pass to be deflected, especially if you're throwing a bad one. You know how much bad passes people throw? You know how much people just had they pass on pass openness and just hoped, okay, once a player's open, they spam the pass button. No skill to it at all. And you gotta understand that's like a robot doing something for you. There's no real skill to that. They know this. So now they're going to make it to where when you don't have the right attributes and you throw certain passes, it's going to get stripped. I feel like a lot of stuff going to get stripped, just like how it was last year. Then they're going to refine it down a little bit more. I feel like remember when everybody was getting plucked in the beginning of the year? Oh yeah, I feel like that's going to be heavy. The pass and lane steals, oh yeah, people going to be plucking and tipping. Passes going to be getting tipped a lot and all that. You're going to be able to grab a pass and tip. Loose balls is going to be different. It's going to have a real more effect. They already said the loose balls has gotten more. That's what Curry did. He jumped up and grabbed the loose ball. Oh my lord, I gotta go deep. I'm going deep in more videos. I'm going deep. All right, so knowing that the passing like that, I know I'm gonna go hard to make sure my build at least has an 80, 75, 80. He has to, because it's now that it's tied in. Those are gonna have to be the thresholds that you're gonna have to need to even get a good pass to go off. They took bullet passer out, so that badge is not in the game. So it's no more. Oh, I could put this on bronze at least. No. It's like your bullet passer now is basically your passing accuracy. How much you gonna put that up? Now think about if you went with a low bullet. Think about if you went with a low one now. They're not playing. Must have for playmakers. I feel like he's not playing about this. They're showing us Chris Paul CPU gameplay. Like, not CPU, Chris Paul gameplay. Okay, yeah. So we on to the next. Now, Mismatch Expert was moved into playmaking. It helps smaller ball handlers blow by tall defenders easier. Are y'all reading this? It helps smaller ball handlers. So there's a separation. This is how you create a balance. There has to be two individual separate things. The bully badge, Mismatch Expert. People keep forgetting. I'm dropping little gems so y'all get ready for the next bully video, right? When I talk about it. Just not even bully, just the builds in general, right? People not thinking like, you understand that just how you got a badge, right? They have a badge. Now, if you know Mismatch Expert, right, is moved into playmaking, it's tiered into playmaking, you know a lot of players that's going to go hard for that bully is not going to be able to have the playmaking to get the badge Mismatch Expert. It's one of those badges, just like how Mismatch Expert wasn't available for a big this year. It's the same thing. Just like how Bully is not going to be available for a small guard this year. There's always those little separate badges where it just ties into, just like how certain bigs get the bruiser badge. You're not going to see a small guard be able to get that, even if he could do a challenge to get it. If you don't got the strength, how you going to do it? You see what I'm saying? So understand that detail. They're getting deeper into that detail, into the system. Challenges. Every badge, you got to do a challenge. Mike Wayne already said it. Every badge takes a challenge to do it. Every badge to get it. So this is the counter that smaller guards are going to have. Bigger guards, you're going to have to know how to stay with them. Same thing. And I got y'all. We're going to talk about the same thing. There's a counter for bully. We're going to talk about it in the next video, so make sure y'all watching, all right? Get off this. We made some changes to layup timing. Still takes skill to be good with it. This is like his little just pacifying people. This is him basically telling us layups is super OP now. It's really good. Get nasty with the timing. It's no longer where you're seeing small guards. Listen. All the players that hoop, listen. This is how I'm showing y'all 2K has not been realistic for so long. Most PGs making players that can dunk. Most PGs make it to where their player can dunk. That's not a realistic stat. Unless you're a Ja Morant. Unless you're a Russell Westbrook. Unless you're a Donovan Mitchell. It's certain other little players, but look at the heights. Look at the rest of their gameplay. Ja Morant just not spraying and shooting all crazy. So if you want to make a build like him, make a build like him where you can knock down, hit, you got a little bit of playmaking, all that. Like, just got his game. You got his crazy layup, acrobatic game style, all that. You crazy with the finishing, right? But they can't make you OP with the shooting. They gotta make you balanced. That's what I mean. They have to have it like that. That's realistic. You got players with 80 drive and dunk. Nobody has a use for a layup no more. This is why he's making this change right here. You don't even see no layups. You're just seeing a guard speed boost left to right to either 3-hunt or go for a dunk. That is not skill, period. No matter how somebody want to spin it. You're just using the turbo. That's how I feel when I'm playing. I'm just like, yo, I'm just using the turbo, dribbling, passing, and I'm going to dunk. I'm just pressing X. That ain't really that much hard work. Especially with some of the stuff, how the game is made. No. So, now the fact that they doing this, skill to be good with it, but you can master it. You can make some really tough layups that you would miss with it off, all right? So layup timing now, being in this game, and you won't blow wide open bunnies anymore if your timing is bad. I was a player who was not using layup timing because the layup timing was trash. They didn't have it coordinated properly to where when you're releasing, I tried and I'm like, no, they don't even have this coordinated properly. It's glitchy when I'm going. No, they don't have it right. I understood that myself. Now the fact that he has it like this, it's like layup timing is consistent finisher now. Once you turn it on, it's like having the meter turned off now. It's like now you're getting a boost to doing all types of layups, especially if you're doing acrobatic tough layups. They're going to let you finish those more. It's going to give listen, I'm being direct. It's going to give more of a realistic feel to the 2K game when you see this going off more. Rather than a player getting a dunk off of you, a layup is going to be way more satisfying to see if you're seeing a small player make a crazy layup on you, rather than him getting just dunking on you and he's not a Ja Morant type build. He's smaller than that. He's still getting these contact dunks off of you. Crazy? Like, what? No, Ja Morant don't even just go down every single play in a league game and just dunk. Not even if he was in the park. Like, no, nobody does that. So understand, dunks really be like rare stuff in games and people get super hyped. Like, have y'all ever been to a real life basketball game? Dunks would be rare sometimes. Honestly, not NBA I'm talking about. You're going to see dunks in NBA, but high school, certain little games are just, when somebody does get a good dunk, I was like, woo, yeah, like people liking it. It's more like, oh, because you're seeing it here and there, not seeing it every possession like a 2K game. No. All right? So now that we know layups is going to be nasty in the game, Mike Wayne said that hop steps, pro hop steps was even nastier. They're more useful now. That's more what they want to see from the smaller guards this year. So anybody telling you, oh, maxing out and dunk, no. The fact that they took the quick drops off lets you know any other dunk animations y'all probably going to get trying to go for that if you're not making a Ja or Russell Westbrook type dunking build, point guard dunking build, you're getting that shit punched. Because he said it as well. I'm showing that video in the bully video. I just got to touch up on the gems because it's just be in my mind. He said as well in the bully video that, I mean, not in the bully video, but on his tweets that the way how you're going to be blocked this year is going to depend on your dunking attribute rating. All right, it's not really based off of somebody else's block. Somebody can have maybe an 80 block. You don't have too much of a high dunking rating, you're going to get punched more so on certain dunks, depending on how you do it. Because I know that the dunks take skill now. Now that they got the up, down, up, they got the little ways how you do different dunks now. And flashy dunks, more points towards your takeover. So look, man, it's a lot of skill components being changed, man. A lot of skill components being changed. Another one that I had to go to right here for people to understand the game has changed in a whole complete way. Y'all just y'all don't, a lot of people, because I'm not going to say everybody, a lot of my viewers understand this. New people. Y'all keep looking at the game like, oh, don't look the same because you're seeing familiar animations. Any game gonna have that familiar animations. Just like how Call of Duty got the same looking slides sometimes. Same looking when they open up the door or something. Same thing. I can go any other game. Any other game. There's new animations that we are not seeing. They're not going to show us that until we watch the trailer. They're not. We're going to see some way more better animations once the trailer drops. I'm surprised y'all not happy off of some of the stuff they've been baby feeding us and that we got to see and got to leak through and see. A lot of SIG jumpers have changed. Biggest content refresh in years. Y'all not listening to this? Why don't this get 16K? People like the pass and accuracy one, and that's cool, I get it. But why don't this got 16K? All jump shots have been changed. Like all of them. Stop looking at oh shit. Well, I like Jordan's jump shot in 22 with 17. Like, why do y'all no? And I have to come like this. I gotta come like this in this part of the video. Why do everybody gotta look back to the past so hard every time when you know that they advancing? They only gonna use bits and pieces from the past, little bits and pieces, but they're trying to advance it every time. Why is everybody looking at it like that? Especially when you're seeing stuff like this in your face and you see that we got release height now. This chart is to give you an idea. Yes, it's not the same chart, but this is what is the same. Release height, release speed, time of impact, defensive immunity. That is what's the same. That is not going to change. We're going to see the same little 4 different setup that we have now. You understand this? So when you see Jordan jumping higher than Trey Young on a jump shot, how don't that make y'all like, damn, finally? We all been shooting at the same level for so long, the same height. The only difference that separated that was having blinders and dead eye on. Nothing was separating, because you have this certain height and the release speed. That's all we had, release speed and the time of impact. That's all we had. It's like this is all we really had, time of impact and release speed. That's really all we had. This is new. Defensive immunity now, this is them telling us now that they're giving us a grade based on the grade that we have. This is like our shield. Like if you have a shield on, you got a bigger shield, you got an A+, you got a bigger shield, you got a D, you got a small shield on. How can y'all not start putting that in y'all brain? I don't get it, yo. I don't get it, and I don't. And I'm gonna keep saying it because I see a lot of comments that just puzzle me like, yo, you couldn't watch the video. You couldn't have. There's no way you could have. This is different. Release height and defensive immunity. These two have been in the game. Release speed, time of impact have been in the damn game. All right? Release height and release speed. Release height and defensive immunity, very new. Went into deep detail. I'm pretty sure there's bases that got off the ground higher, yes. And don't get me wrong, because I gotta always touch up on the little cracks. I know there's always people trying to find the cracks. Don't get me wrong. That was that, but they didn't tell us that. They didn't make us aware to that, and that still didn't change anything within the game. It still didn't make you shoot better or shoot over anybody. Understand? You got up higher, but that was just only a pill type of thing. The windows were still the same. Now they got different windows for when you're getting up higher now. Like, yo, I'm tired of listen, gems. Y'all should get it. Like, a lot of the people should get it. I can't backtrack and keep trying to backtrack on some of the cracks because that just slows me down on the knowledge. People should be hit to knowing that we dealing with a game that's similar, just more refined, and they updating on certain things. Slightlies do not drop like they did last year. At least not higher difficulties. Online, you have to earn your makes. Boom. Now this ties into the next thing. One here. I'm gonna go here. See how I could we bouncing from it. We see all ends of the floor being shaped. All right. We see everybody doing everything. Giannis with the bully. Now I want people to pay attention to. We're gonna get up in the next video. Make sure you watch my next video. He's only in the inside doing this. And what is he doing it off of? A pro hop. So bully's probably going to tie into what pro hops. You understand in your strength. Now, let's keep going. We see all types of shot. Post play. We see Steph Curry. We see PG shooting well. Okay, we see the post play. All of it is going to be good, I feel like. All of it. There's going to have to be pieces. We see defense. Come on now. I don't get what people were saying. Look at this, Jimmy Butler. Look how he was moving. We still haven't even there's so much new stuff. I don't know how people listen. We seen big players going crazy, and we seen small players going crazy on big players. Look at this. Oh man, bully bash. But I got that. I got you creeping and stumbling off of step backs. But everybody hype about the bully bash. Nobody's talking about how when players are really gonna know how to move, because y'all think just because they say defense is favored, that don't mean nothing. That just means, okay, the defense is better enough to where people not going to complain about them sliding that much more. But somebody's still going to be able to bake you, use a screen, hit you with this, hit you with that. Like, let's stop all the games here. Let's stop all the games here. It's still two minds going against each other in the video game, having to make the right moves like a chessboard. Stop playing. So we see that is very similar, right? All right. Slightlies. Mike Wayne said that 70s won't hit crazy no more, and slightlies. So players, listen, y'all. When you try to go towards the 80 shooting, you only gonna be able to get towards like an 80 and then be able to stack crazy in defense. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. People were getting crazy stats last year, right? Meaning like you could go across the board crazy. This year, players, you're gonna have to make sure you got like an 88 to be hitting crazy. The 90s is really going to be like how it used to be, like the sharps, the shooting. The 80s, you still going to be able to hit, but you're going to have to create that space. The 90s is where you're going to dumb it down and make it simple for the people that are not going to really understand this. That's where you're going to get more of the fake shots dropping in. You may get a slightly to drop more consistently than a player who's shooting a slightly, who got the 85s a little bit lower. Oh, it's going to start to hit you a little bit more. You meter off. Remember, meter being off basically give yourself like 5+ onto your shooting rating, or 10, because you remember your badges add on to that, stack onto that. There's a big boost for having your meter off. So you have to give yourself, you have to always add that onto your player build with this shooting. So if you know you at an 85, right, and you shoot with the meter off, you good to go. Players that shoot with the meter on, it's like, now you're a little bit, hey, wide open, yeah, but contested and somebody's in your face now. It's a lot of signators. When you shoot with a meter, he knows, okay, contest. It's not, when you see somebody even pump fake and they got a meter, it's, you like to late contest them, because it's kind of like people with meters don't play certain ways. They don't even shoot certain ways. That's why I'm saying it's just kind of weird. All right, so we want to touch up on this one last time and actually go here to where we can slow it down so you guys can see it, because I couldn't slow it down before watching it. But look at when he does that. That is the move right there. That is the move right there. It's about to get nasty. Guards doing this off the rip, like, oh, and then being able to speed boost off like that. And this is Chris Paul, mind you. But Chris Paul is going to have that speed boost. This is Chris Paul build. But mind you, that switchback that he's doing, that tells, listen, they already been going in that rhythm of having it to where, listen, when you dribbling, right, you could be dribbling at a high speed, right? Let's say I'm dribbling like this, and then if I want to slow it down and come like this and actually have it in rhythm and be smooth, that's what they're trying to bring into the game. Not where it's clunky and you go too fast and you already have to stay at that fast speed because you're going, no, you can kind of control it a little bit depending on how your motion is moving on your stick. That's what they're trying to implement more. Mike Wayne already said it. Once you it says it, man, it says it in the news setting, actually, in the report. Once you're flicking like this, right, rhythmatically you're going to start to do a rock. So let's say you rocking, you're going to start rocking somebody. Man, all this stuff is about to play out crazy. They tied killer combos within they tied killer combos, so that's tight handles and handles for days in killer combos. So y'all know when players are doing those rocks and stuff like that, that's, and any hezzies, that's what's going to be activating their tight handles, their killer combos. That's what's going to be stunning you now. So when you seen certain players in the trailers getting stunned like that a little bit, that's going to be those new stuns. So players are going to have to read those stuns, use their adrenaline off of that once they stun you. But certain people can have better recovering time depending on their stats. So it's going to be like basketball, man. I don't know how, I can't go that deep to make it like, it's still going to be basketball at the end of the day. But these new moves right here is going to be something crazy. This was not, people was commenting on my last video, yo, that was not in the game. Not like that. And I feel like it's a little bug because they're not showing it, but he goes so fast. He don't even cross the ball. It goes behind his back and then he like pushes it back. Look at it. Oh, he don't even cross it in front of him, nothing. It's just like he's doing that move on the side. And I feel like his other arm went over there, but it's probably bugged a little bit because they still, it's still the early review of the game. Look at Mike Wayne right there in the corner watching him. Yo, I swear he was monitoring everybody, yo. I'm telling you, like, yo, he got to be right there watching. Like, nah, yo, he's so close. He's too close. I guess he want to get people's experience, but he's too close. Like, damn, they got to get me up in there one day. But I hope you enjoyed this video, man. Listen, we coming to y'all next with this builder video. This one gonna be good. Alright, I'm about to really break it down to y'all how it's gonna be based off of roles. Like, why do people think it's gonna be one build you gotta go with a year, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be the GOAT if I go with this build? Like, no. Look at it like it is real life basketball. Like, depending on what pieces y'all have together, that's what's gonna be OP. That's what's gonna be nice. 3 pieces, 2v2, I guess the 2 pieces, 5v5, the 5 pieces, 1v1, your build against their build. At that point, then yeah, y'all can battle that out. That's just egos at that point. But basketball is really a team game. In real life, it's not just 1v1. There's just 1v1 tournaments and stuff. So that's why the 1v1 court there, yeah, people could just battle out 1v1 court. I still feel like post score still will be nice. Of course, it's a 1v1 court. Can't really do nothing about that. But you never know what 2K may do. Change it up. Hope you guys enjoyed.